All right, let's try this. Let's see if this works.
Do we all have seen it?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That is.
I can't lie. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, you cannot deny my genius.
All aboard!
Hey!
Huh?
Oops! What? Wow! Yeah!
Hello, everybody. Cover him up.
Hi.
Don't worry about him. Welcome to episode 20 of Where Streams Come True. The show where us at Studio 76 suffer through the entire good and bad of Disney Plus in a structured randomness order for your and our enjoyment. I am your host, Collins, and joining me today are Sarah and Cameron returning.
Hello.
Hello.
Last time you're going to see Sarah in a while because
Yeah.
we have to move back to school in
Yeah.
a limited capacity. So it'll still be probably 3 people at a time, but we'll be in the podcast bit at the end. Which we'll see how that goes. And this week we watched Frozen 2, the 2019 film by directors Jennifer Lee and Chris Buck. Together with Anna, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven, Elsa faces a dangerous but remarkable journey into the unknown, to the enchanted forests and dark seas beyond Arendelle, in search of truths about the past. Now, initial thoughts. Have you seen this movie before? What was it like seeing it for the first time and now watching it again? Let's go with Cameron first this time.
All right. Haven't seen this movie before.
Okay.
Let me just go away for a
Underwhelming.
second.
The word I would choose here is underwhelming. You're gonna have a lot of
Let me just
hate.
go away.
So I
But-
am the swing vote.
I hope you know
wondering about
you've broken my heart. Our friendship will never
I
be
know.
the same again.
So this is
It's
your
okay.
first time?
It's good to have.
Did you see the first movie?
Yes, I did see the first movie, which
Mhm.
makes this one all the more underwhelming.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. We'll get
And
into
I will
that.
get into that. Yeah.
I mean, I'll go ahead and go next. This is about the 4th or so time I've seen the movie. I missed it in theaters. Saw it when it came onto Disney Plus. Instantly loved it. I like it much more than the first movie. I've only watched the first movie like twice since it released, I think. I don't know if this one just does so much more for me. And let's see if we get another crossover in Kingdom Hearts 5. I'm gonna talk about the Frozen part of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Is this something you
occasionally.
feel compelled to do?
Just because I hate that it exists. And
Just Kingdom
and
Hearts,
going
because we're on the
well,
same page if that's the case.
And going off of more initial thoughts, revisiting it again, like there's something new that I get out of the movie every time I watch it, and like the emotional parts get me every single time. And yeah, it's good. It's a good rewatch. Cool hour and 45 minutes, short movie.
I think that's like the sweet spot for a movie, actually.
It's real
Mhm.
good. This movie
Mhm.
does not waste any time. Could it be longer? I don't think it needs to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sarah, your initial thoughts.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, I was too busy to see this in theaters, but I did see it the day it came on Disney Plus, and then probably watch it every single week since then. Although I did take a break when
You found out we were doing it on the show.
when I
think.
found you were gonna do a Frozen wheel. I
Right.
didn't watch any Frozen, and because it took so long, and we finally spun it last time, I hadn't seen this movie in like 2 months, and so it was very fresh, and I was very excited. And it is my favorite movie currently, and on my letterbox you can double check. So I will try and not talk the entire time.
This is yeah, it's not my favorite movie. My favorite movie will and always will be Speed Racer. But it's up there. It's probably in the top 5, along with like Treasure Planet and Dead Man's Chest. But let's go ahead and get into the full review for a short movie. It's got a meaty review, so I will try and go through it as quickly and eloquently as possible, and then we will have time for discussion. The film opens with young Anna, voiced by Hadley Genoway, and Elsa, voiced by Mattia Conforti, playing a game with Elsa's snow creations in an enchanted forest of their own creation. King Agnar, voiced by Alfred Molina, and Queen Iduna, voiced by Evan Rachel Wood, enter, and Agnar tells the girls he has seen an enchanted forest in real life. In his youth, he joined his father, King Runard, voiced by Jeremy Sisto, and other Arendelian soldiers to venture into the enchanted forest, where they came to know the four spirits of the forest: earth, wind, fire, and air. Suddenly, the forest inhabitants, the North Uldra, started attacking the Arendelians, and Agnar lost his father before losing consciousness. He recalls being saved by a mysterious being. After he finishes his story, Iduna sings a lullaby to the girls, and we get the first instance of all is found in the movie.
Just have one thing.
That's no, yeah,
Those are not the
that's
right
break.
elements.
Is it not? Did I read wrong?
Oh no! I thought you missed Earth, but that was for Earth.
Earth was the first one. Yeah, Earth,
Wind,
fire, water.
So
and
I
air.
thought you didn't say Earth. I'm sorry.
No,
Ignore
that's
me.
it.
Was it just me, or like in the beginning of the story, did you get like some serious like Avatar vibes?
I mean, when you're doing something with the
No.
elements, that is bound to
They were
happen.
just like, it's the four elements, and they were using them, and I was like, bending?
Well, no, not bending. They he
Yeah, none of
explicitly
them are
says
actually
they're
Yeah, and
not.
then they were just like,
magical.
No, they're not
we're
magic.
taking advantage of the forest. I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
They're like
the other Avatar vibes.
somewhat. I couldn't. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, I don't know how. I was gonna try and make like a D&D an analogy for the North Uldra, but
Well, they
nothing really
use
fits.
they use the stone giants to create a bridge for someone to walk over two
Right,
peaks.
and like go across the river with the
Mhm.
water horse thing,
Stuff like that. Yeah.
stuff like that.
Sure.
I similar to the first movie, opens in a flashback. The child actors are very
Mhm.
good,
Yes.
surprisingly.
I really hated young Anna.
Young
She's
Anna
supposed
is-
to be annoying. She's so full of
she
energy.
is adorable.
No.
Yes.
She's precocious.
She's one of
Yep.
those like kids that like when you go pick your kid up from like daycare, you're just like stay as far away from that kid as possible. Like you don't enter the room until they're over there playing with the toys in the opposite end of the room, and then you go pick up your kid.
You had a
Like,
very
no-
different experience with daycare than I did, Cameron.
They're the one that comes up to the adults and tells them how they've made a dirt soup, and I like try some, and then you say no, and then they eat it.
I don't know what I mean, maybe I was that kid because I don't
You-
remember
you
any
were.
of this. Yeah, possibly. We'll be touching in on the making of documentary a bit because it does fill in some gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else about the opening? Very good. I love the musical
I-
number.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the lullaby is
You've got
fantastic.
yeah. Bring out your notes, Sarah. You've got stuff
I have
to
6
talk
pages
about.
of notes, and I do not want to take the entire time. I will
Well,
say
you-
first that I think Agnar is a little. Well, I found on second viewing to be a little pretentious because he's sitting next to his wife who is from the Enchanted Forest, and he's like, "Here's my experience. Here's why I should talk."
That is one thing that confuses me is like when in the timeline does the flashback we see later of her telling him about herself, like does that happen before or after this? Because it seems like he does not know anything.
Possibly. Possibly.
Yeah.
I always thought that it was like as they were like courting because they looked younger. It's hard to tell when they're made of snow.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, yeah, the lullaby, if I can go into my notes.
Go
is
into
the
yes,
first...
sir. If you don't, I'm gonna go into the next part of the movie. So
Okay, no. The lullaby is the first of 3 times that I have found that the plot is laid out on a platter. Like, here you go. Here's the plot. Here's everything that's gonna happen. Like, dive deep into her sound, and I looked up what sound means, as in like the body of water refers to an inlet connecting wider pieces of water. Bridge.
right.
We'll get into bridge stuff later. Anyways. And then the lullaby transitions into present day.
Right. When we
And
get the title card.
Yes, and then the mother she's still singing and it says, "Come, my darling, homeward bound. When all is lost and all is found." Like she's saying she's the spirit. She's the one.
Yeah, it literally
Calling to
says
Elsa.
like whereas like where the North Women see like there's a mother
There's
full
a
of memories.
mother.
Like it literally like just gives out that plot point that the
That
mother
the mother
is the
is
voice.
in
Yeah.
Altaholland, and I will talk more about when all is lost, all is found later.
Right. I think I know where that goes. So if we don't have anything else, we'll fast
I have
forward.
one quick thing.
Yes.
Yeah. When they did the flashback, I thought it was kind of funny. He was like talking about like how they got ambushed or whatever. It was like
Yeah.
brutal battle, and you just see the people like smacking sticks together, and it was like
Yeah, it's
It's
like-
not a fair fight.
No, they've got staffs and the other people have swords. Like, oh no, they attacked us.
Swords and armor and shields.
Yeah.
very ironic.
Yeah, who else called that the sinister looking king instigated the whole thing?
I didn't really put myself in either. I was like, interesting.
I called that it was him immediately. He's like this big imposing guy with this bushy mustache, and he's like stand in line to his son, and like
That's true. He is very.
he looks like a bad guy. And I was like, I didn't tag Hans in the first movie until it was too late, and I'm not gonna make that mistake again. I know who the bad guy is. Very similar, somewhat not really a similar twist. Anyway, we'll fast forward. One other thing I wanted to say is I don't know if it's a pet peeve or I just don't understand the story well enough, but it kind of feels like this movie does a lot to make the parents nicer than they were in the first movie, or at least give context to it.
They didn't have a lot of
Possibly.
screen time in the first one.
No,
I think it humanized them a bit.
it humanizes. That's the word I was looking for. Humanizes them a lot because in the first one like the joke was that they were terrible parents because they just locked their kid in a room.
That's true, yeah.
But like with the given context of the mom being North Uldra and stuff like that, like I can see why.
I don't actually. That makes me more confused because if she's North Uldra, she would understand the whole elemental weird crap more.
But if everybody knew that the daughter was magic, they might piece together that the mom is North Uldra and they think the North Uldra are their enemies.
If I was a mom, I'd be like, let's go take a walk in this forest and maybe we'll figure this
But
out.
they can't get they can't get in. Possibly they tried to get in. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's just parents that are overwhelmed in that instance that were trying their best.
We're not going to talk about Frozen 1.
Yeah.
We'll fast forward to the present day. Elsa, now voiced by Idina Menzel, hears a melodic voice calling out to her, but nobody else can hear this sound. Anna, now voiced by Kristen Bell, joins Olaf, voiced by Josh Gad, outside as he contemplates the changes around him. Anna isn't bothered by the changes because she has all the people she loves. We get the Some Things Never Change song, which I'll get to that later. Meanwhile, Kristoff, voiced by Jonathan Groff, tells Sven he's planning on proposing to Anna. First time I watched this movie, I didn't like Some Things Never Change. Like, it didn't get me. I thought it was a dumb song and kind of a waste of time in the movie. Second time around, and like third or fourth or whatever, it definitely grew on me a lot. I think it's funny. It has like all these little short vignettes that are pretty good because the whole thing with the song is about Some Things Never Change, but every shot is something changing, like the tree getting chopped down, the wall crumbling, the house being built that they walk through, and there's like some sort of like
fall is the epitome of change.
Yeah.
Autumn.
It's like there's like a fall feast type thing going on in town, which I'm fine that they didn't like exposit what that event was or what holiday it was supposed to be, because it doesn't
I can
really
imagine
matter.
it's probably a harvest festival.
Yeah,
because they had all the pumpkins and stuff.
Yeah.
Be my guess.
Definitely think that Olaf is actually funny in this movie. I think he was kind of annoying in the first one.
Yeah, I wrote down his quote, "You're older and thus all-knowing."
Yeah.
Like, he's going through this period of maturing, and like, because he's
like 2 years old.
He's a snow person that gained sentience in the last movie, and it seems like he's been probably reading.
Yeah,
And so
like
he's
there's a
having
line
this-
where like, oh, this is so much easier since I learned to read.
Yeah,
Like
when they're
he's
doing
having to
charades.
develop, like fast track develop, because he just became alive and had full sentience and thought, and
Hmm.
just coping with that. I don't know. I
I
like
don't
him.
know. I still think he's kind of annoying.
Well,
Yeah,
I think-
I definitely came around to him in this movie.
I don't know if there's
Um,
any jokes that I rolled my eyes at from him. There's definitely ones that I didn't like laugh at, but I don't think there's any jokes that I was like,
Yeah, yeah. This
There's some in the
movie, I
first
will say,
one.
is a more mature version than the first because they tried to grow it
Yeah.
with the audience that was that were children in the 1st
Yeah,
when they watched the first movie.
the jokes are just a lot more clever with Olaf in this.
Hmm.
Like, the old one had like, I can't find my butt. Oh no. Oh, there's my butt. And this one, like when the Northolders see him and like it's the first time they see a living snowman, and he's like, oh, sorry, I just find clothes restricting. Like that's a clever joke.
Yeah, that one's funny.
Anyway, well, yeah, that's about it.
I can talk.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead and talk.
Sorry.
Is that it?
Um,
Shut up, Cameron.
No, I think this is a really interesting song because it sets up this naivete about, that all the problems are over since the first movie. They'd solved
Mhm.
everything.
They don't think they're
And-
getting a sequel.
Yeah, Anna is happy, because everyone is
happy.
with her,
Right.
and there's a status quo that's established, and she like when she at the end when they're like holding on tight to you and holding on tight, like
Right.
she just wants to physically hold this moment because everything is perfect.
Right. Because right now she she mentions it in one line. She has everything that she wanted to have from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the she has a
The gates
love
are open.
interest. The gates are open. She's with her sister. Like all of the check boxes that she had in the first movie are crossed off. Elsa obviously isn't in the same situation. What her wants were in the first movie were never fully realized, but Anna's definitely were.
There's another line that the chorus sings that says, "We'll always live in a kingdom of plenty." And I
Yeah.
think that's when I knew things were going to go
And
wrong.
our flag will always fly.
Our flag will always fly.
And it's-
Okay, the
it's
flag
the
is
first
literally
thing that
the
gets
first
ripped
thing.
off.
To,
Yeah.
it's like that's the naivete is that right there.
And then at the end of the movie, the wind comes back and the flag starts flying again.
Flag's flying.
I noticed
yeah.
that shot.
I don't know when
Cameron
they put
didn't
the
notice
flag
any of
back
this because Cameron's not.
Look, let's talk about this song. This song
Yes.
felt so out of place in this movie because they start the movie like, oh yeah, everything's all happy, some things just never change, whatever. And it's like, you don't have to establish the fact that she got everything that she wanted out of this movie.
To be
Mhm.
fair, that was my thoughts the first time I watched it.
That's
And
why this is
then-
very interesting to me.
And
is
then
we're getting that.
afterwards, I was just like, it's a fun song, and
You're just gonna need to
I'm
watch
okay
it
with that.
at least 5 more times, Cameron,
Um,
and then you'll
I
enjoy the
just-
song. I did have one
Yes,
thing before you
one
move
more
on.
thing. Okay.
Is Christoph buys get used to it, Cameron. Christoph buys a store, goes into a store and he buys like a neckerchief and he buys a book. And I've always just assumed it was the dating tips book because of what they're singing about at the time.
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting because it's never seen again.
It's never shown what book it was.
Hmm.
That's interesting. Later that night, the gang plays charades together, but Elsa hears the voice calling out to her again. Distressed, she leaves the room. Kristoff tries to find a good time to propose to Anna, but she is more concerned with how Elsa is acting. After assuring her sister she is going to be fine, they go to bed.
So are we gonna have the argument about the mint now or later?
About him
The what?
eating the mint leaf.
Yes.
I think we can
Collins
skip. What did I used to think?
You used to think it was not mint.
Oh, I thought he was just eating a leaf from just
Eating
a
a leaf.
plant. Yeah, from like a house plant. Because I
Okay,
thought.
I'm glad you're on my side now.
Yeah, having it be mint makes sense.
Yeah.
I
I also noticed you can see the lieutenant's picture behind them. In the
Right.
scene.
Yeah, you can see Matthias in the background.
Mhm.
which is pretty
His
cool.
portrait.
Some foreshadowing. And if there are any weak scenes, charades is I didn't find it that funny.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. No, like the Olaf stuff was kind of funny when he was like just shape-shifting. And I noticed that Sven is like dinging the bell when the timer's up. And while they're playing, he's just off the side, just laser focused looking at the hourglass.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he's just like looking at it, he's like licking his lips.
That's funny.
He's just like not paying attention to anything else. It's really funny. You got a reindeer in your living room. Only this. It's Disney rules.
He's a very well trained one. Yeah,
It's Disney
apparently.
rules.
I do think it was probably a mistake to have ice as a charade thing. Like I would have thought Anna would think that would trigger Elsa. It's not the reason that she.
Or maybe
ends
she was doing it because
charades.
she was trying to cheat.
Well, I mean, at this point,
Maybe,
it should trigger
maybe.
her, right? Because she accepted her
No.
power.
No, but it is the one that she ends charades on. I just thought it was interesting.
I can't see how she like what she was trying to get across. Like it's flat and like balancing or ice skating. She was like miming at one point. Also,
I really
charades?
feel bad for her.
And the fact that like later in the movie it's like charades with Thursday night. I'm like, do they have any other games?
I mean, isn't this like the early 1800s? The answer is no.
They have a camera that shows
Well,
up
yeah,
later.
that was developed a few years before the Civil War.
But I feel like
Or it might be
I
even
feel like
earlier
they
than
were
that.
other
Don't
more
even
interesting games than charades back then.
get me started on the camera. Just
Oh
Oh,
no,
You have
I
an
will.
issue with the camera?
I will defend the camera in this movie because
No
of its
way.
time period. I'm googling when Frozen 2 takes place as
Okay.
we speak.
they have swords and shields,
But
and they still
Mhm.
build their houses out of rock, and they somehow got a freaking camera.
But they don't use guns.
Yeah, they don't use
I think
guns.
I
I'm
think
like,
Disney
there
animation
cannons?
is probably the reason.
Like on the did the ships have
There
cannons?
were cannons on the ships, yes.
Okay. Just not firearms.
Hi,
Um,
kitty.
Yeah. Imagine if in Frozen 1, Hans comes up the stairs with a blunderbuss and.
I think they probably
Just-
thought in children's animation
Yeah, probably not.
not
Probably
to have
no guns. Fair
I
enough.
don't know. You could have at least
Maybe.
tried to make it a little
I
more.
think there's guns in
Future.
late
armor.
1860s,
you're gonna
yes,
put a
after the
freaking
Civil
camera on
War,
it.
where there
This
were
takes place
cameras.
after the Civil War?
Yes.
No
in
way.
a version of the world where there are not those problems,
In
where
Sweden.
they have a multicultural Sweden. Yes.
Where Tangled takes place. There's guns in Tangled. Not really. Maybe.
Are
There
there?
are, yeah, there's guns. Pretty sure
Yeah, there's guns in Tangled. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there. You
I
can't
don't
have an
think
issue with it
guns
because
need
they
to
show up.
be
Yeah,
in this movie.
because Tangled lady, Rapunzel shows
Tangled
up. And
lady, yeah.
she has a cameo in the first Frozen, so of course there's guns, just not in Arendelle because.
What? She has a cameo?
Yeah, she's in the scene where they're all going to the coronation.
Yeah,
they're
the
going in the
coronation
gates, and
scene.
and Anna is running out during her song.
Yeah, and
about the gates being opened.
Rapunzel and Flynn are there.
It's in one
Okay.
scene. Just blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah,
they're
I probably
there.
have blinked
So that establishes
for a
the
long
timeline.
time.
Well, maybe.
Got her short brown hair.
It's possible that the Arendellians do have firearms. I don't know why this is a discussion. But when we
Cameron brought it up.
the only time we see weapons used, are.
They were smacking sticks together in that forest.
They
and those people are from
in
30
that
something
battle.
years ago, before guns,
18
not before
Mm-mm.
guns. Sorry,
before
I don't know.
camera,
Okay,
maybe.
it doesn't matter. I'm moving on.
Yes,
voice
this is a
continues-
fictional. This is
Um,
work of fiction.
We get the lullaby again, except Kristen Bell sings it this time. The voice continues to call
Nice.
Elsa through the night, leading her to leave her room and wonder what it is that's calling her and how she wants to learn more about it. We get into the unknown song. The magic around her shows her
one.
images of mysterious creatures. Suddenly, Arendelle begins to experience strange occurrences. Well, firstly, it's not listed in the thing, but crystals raining from the sky.
Yeah, that
Then,
definitely killed somebody.
I've got thoughts about that. A strong wind blows into the kingdom. The water from the fountain drains out. The fire from the lanterns goes out, and the earth begins to tremble fiercely. Elsa helps leads the citizens to higher ground. Yeah, like I was thinking, like there's livestock and stuff. So I'm thinking about like a sheep or something in a field, just
Yeah.
just getting impaled. A cow with a piece of crystal just going through its head.
Yeah.
Probably.
I like to
happened.
think that they were harmless, but that's just me.
I
'Cause
think it's
magic is
funny
beautiful.
if cows died, but probably not. It's magic. They are all indoor animals.
Yes, perhaps they were in the barn.
Perhaps they were in the barn.
I think it's.
And
Sorry,
I mean, they,
Cameron.
yeah.
No, you can go. You have a lot more
Oh.
notes than me.
Fire
Yes,
goes
but
out.
I want to make sure you can talk.
I'm glad that the movie didn't have everyone instantly blame Elsa for what happened. She doesn't get any flack for the opening of this movie, and I was like, good,
Yeah.
we don't, because that would be like treading old ground again. Because it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, the queen's gone mad or something. I was fully expecting that, especially with the ice raining from the sky. But instead, they were just like, okay, that was weird.
Like, whatever, weird stuff keeps happening.
Whatever. Let's see what you're gonna do about it, huh? It's Arendelle.
So let's talk about this song real quick.
Yeah,
Into the unknown.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay,
Talk
so
about it.
It's not the best one in the movie.
no, it's not. And there's
The second
more
best.
reasons why. I'll get back into it when we get to the end
Third
of the
best.
movie. But there's a point, just like when she's singing the song,
Yes.
she's like talking about how she doesn't want to listen to this voice,
Yes.
but her actions aren't matching what she's saying.
Yes.
And she doesn't
Have
feel,
some
it doesn't look like
thoughts.
she's actually like compelled into it. Hold on, let me finish my thought real quick. So
Yeah,
she doesn't look
no,
like she's like
it's okay.
compelled or like drawn in like two different ways in the song. I think it's more the directing, not like the acting, because I think she did a pretty good job acting. But it's just she didn't look like she was really trying not to listen to the voice. Even there was a point where she was like, "I'm not going to listen to this siren voice or whatever." And then just like at the end of the song, she wakes up the freaking spirit of the lake and then goes, "Oh well, I thought it was the right thing to do." And I'm like, "What?" Okay, anyway, you can go.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. It's taken me several watches, and still I will say that doesn't totally feel like there's enough impetus for her to unleash the spirits.
I'm still confused
But-
if she did it consciously.
Well, she talked to
It's-
Or she
Anna
just-
like she did.
Yeah, it's like I awoke the spirits. Like it kind of looked like you were just like caught up in the moment, and then a bunch
Yeah.
of crystals appeared. Like
Mhm.
I don't feel like she's like, okay, I'm gonna awake the spirits. I feel like she just like followed the voice, did a thing, and then realized what happened.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
uh-oh.
it's hard to explain how it makes sense to me, but she does talk about how her magic knew that this was a good person that was calling out to her and that she needed to do that.
Right.
So it kind of feels like she was expressing herself. And if I can go back, she talks about how she doesn't want to mess things up, but a part of her is
Right.
like her magic is growing. And like the whole point of the first movie is she cut loose for the first time in her life and felt so free, and she's kind of bottled it up again.
Kind
And
of,
this is
yeah.
another time where she's arguing with herself in the movie, and she finally cuts loose and releases the spirits.
Is the mountain she goes to in the first movie, it's in the same direction as the forest, isn't it? Because they pass
they
it on their
pass
way
it.
there. So
Mhm.
maybe that's part of it, of why she felt so free and why she went in that particular direction in the first movie.
She does go down the same staircase that she does in the first to escape across the lake.
There really isn't any other way to go though, because like they're
She
like
could've gone-
right up the water. So I think the only way to go would just be like right up the mountain. Just
I was
Devil's
just trying to make a connection.
yeah.
That's probably not there.
It's definitely not obvious, and you know it's
It
kind
took
of
me
interesting
until
every
my
time
third
I
watch
watch
to
it.
notice them past the North Mountain.
I wouldn't be surprised if the director had that connection. They were like, yeah, totally. They were close to the forest.
Although that's
Maybe. I
that's
mean, she's outside of
absolutely-
Arendelle.
It's absolutely a retroactive connection. Like they didn't have that in mind
Mhm.
when they made the first movie because they didn't think they were gonna make a second one. Like
Mhm.
they've said like when they were like doing the behind the scenes stuff for the first one, of like no yeah we don't know where our powers come from and that's not a thing we're gonna answer.
Then they answer it. Kind of.
Yeah, and I
Kind
like
of,
how
yeah.
the answer subscribes to the Bionicle philosophy that water and ice are two different elements.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It doesn't go as far to say that sand and earth are two different elements, though,
I gotta bring
Interesting.
Bionicle into this.
because there's
Well-
I mean, he did bring in
she's the
Avatar,
fifth.
so it's
She,
only
yeah,
fair.
she's the fifth
That-
spirit, and it's ice.
That is also
and
the
then there's-
case in Naruto, that ice is a different element from water.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Kind
It
of,
is
but-
in a different state. It's in a solid form versus a
Yeah, but
liquid
it's
form.
still water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That always bugs me. No, but the sand and earth
Anyways.
thing is even worse.
Yeah.
It is. Because that's not, it's still
That's
technically in the same
100%
state.
Earth.
That's just it's the same thing. It's like yeah, but
Mhm.
one's brown and one's black. Needed to sell one more toy, didn't
Anyways.
you? Anyway,
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I think it's
crap happens.
really
We
interesting.
get some good Olaf jokes with the.
Can we back up, please?
Yes, we can.
Well, I just want to talk about the second time that the plot is laid out,
Right.
which is when she is doing her magic on the lake, and it shows all of the elements in the order that they are encountered in the forest.
Oh, really?
It does.
Go through it.
Well, the fire spirit kind of does its bouncing. Well, no, sorry, the
Versus
air.
wind. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is not as obvious because it just looks like snowflakes. Then it's the fire bouncing
Oh.
around her, and then it leaps up into the water spirit, and then it goes into the earth
Earth spirit,
giants.
which is the order they're well not necessarily encountered, but it's the order they're dealt with in the movie
Yes, you're right.
because they do see
Technically,
the
they
Earth
see
giants
the
before
earth
they
giants
take care
before
of
they.
right.
Yes.
And same like with Aerodel itself. It's hit by
Yes.
each one in the same order.
In the same order.
Which
Mhm.
I don't know, I think that's cool.
First the
It's like
wind goes
cool,
out
like,
and the fire goes
magic
out.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all? Olaf gets
Yeah.
icicles put into his
Is there, like-
forehead and stuff. Controlling what we can when things seem out of control. I feel like
That's
that
such a great line.
That was a great line to have in 2020.
Yeah. He's sort of the children's perspective. A lot of this movie, I think,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
because
He'll
the
just
kids
like occasionally say something
out of
like
their house in the middle of the
super
night.
wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to them on the weird cliffside thing. The gang
Mhm.
meets with Grand Pabby, voiced by Syrian Hines, and the other trolls. He tells the sisters that the spirits of the enchanted forest are angered over a wrongdoing that must be corrected, or else Arendelle's future will be in jeopardy. Elsa decided she must set off on her own to fix it, but Anna refuses to let her go alone. Naturally, Kristoff, Sven, and Olaf join as well. One of the jokes I always get caught off guard by and laugh at is when it's Anna or Elsa, where it's like, I was like, Kristoff, Sven, we're going, and Kristoff's like, I'm not comfortable with that.
When Anna says she's taking Sven in the sled.
Oh right, yeah, she's yeah, and he's just like, no.
My sled, my reindeer.
Yeah.
Also, my girlfriend.
Kristoff just gets drug around so much in these
Mhm.
movies. Like this poor boy. Nothing that happens is his fault, and he just stuff just happens around him, and he has to deal with it.
It's true.
He's so
he's
relatable.
he's a reactive character. He can't really impact the story.
I said this to Sarah the first time I watched the movie. This scene has a lot of energy in this movie, like in general, but particularly the scene of like, for those of you who play D&D, when you go from like the first adventure where it's like levels 1 through 5 and everything's brave and new, and then you go into the second part where you're like 5 through 10, and that's this movie where like things get weirder, things get more dangerous, and everyone's sort of like, are we doing this again? And that's sort of like
Yeah.
Kristoff is like, really? Do we have to go? Or who says it? It's at the end of the movie where I believe Olaf is like,
Is
is
this
it?
putting
It's
us
like,
in mortal danger going to be a regular thing?
yeah, it's like it's the
Even
moment where they
Elsa
realize
in her
we're in a
song.
sequel, aren't we?
Yeah, Elsa says she's had her adventure.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like we've done it. It's like, nope, you're getting a sequel whether you like it or not. And when they're on that cliffside, they're like, oh boy, we're doing this, aren't we? Like,
Yeah. I do think it's interesting that the elements pushed everyone out of the
Yeah.
town, knowing that it would be flooded.
hmm Even though, spoilers, it isn't. But
I mean, we're
We'll get to
talking
that.
about stuff from the end of the
future, yeah.
movie interchangeably, so
It's fine. I've decided at this point that if you're listening to the podcast, you don't deserve to be
you should
held
watch
from
the movie
spoilers.
when we
It's
watch
on
it.
Disney Plus.
I mean, yeah,
Watch
if
it
you're
and then
if you're
listen to the
watching this,
podcast.
you're listening to this podcast, you've already watched the movie,
Or you don't
you're
care.
here for the spoilers.
Like
Yeah.
My Dog the
Mhm.
Thief. I'm not expecting you to watch all of our movies. I would like to,
Shockingly,
but
I
then you
have
could
not watched
listen
that.
along. It's not good.
Just listen
here
to the
for hot
podcast
takes.
and
yeah.
yeah,
Listen to
don't.
the podcast. There's a Jesus analog in it, and it's very weird.
So good. I love it. I'll never
And-
forget Jesus Dog for the longest,
Jesus
as long as I live.
I will never forget it. And
I went to sleep a couple nights ago and was like, oh yeah, Jesus Dog exists.
do we
When I went
want
to
to?
sleep.
Do we want
Jesus
to?
dog saves.
Do we want to ever so briefly touch on the conspiracy theory that Grandpappy brainwashed Hans to kill Elsa in the first movie?
That was a fan theory that I was on board with
Right.
until this came out.
I still think the
Because-
trolls are sketch. I don't think
Like,
this
is it-
redeems anything that they could have done in the first movie.
It's still a possibility.
I
thought
They
think
they
wanted They wanted Kristoff to be with Anna and get pitched so badly. Because Hans has kind of a total 180 of personality after the trolls are introduced,
hmm
but it's still just
And
theory.
like him killing Elsa and Anna wouldn't make him king because of how the monarchy works.
Yeah.
Unless you're a blood relative, it doesn't go to you. Prince Charles, for example. I think that's what I'm thinking of, right? Where he's
You're
like
on the right track.
he's like 27th in line, even though he's married to the queen.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's
Because
something.
it's descendancy, yeah.
Yeah. Talk about it in the comments if you think the trolls are evil. They definitely Poppy. What did I write? Did I write down something about him? He's got some weird energy in this. But Sarah, you have notes. The plot is laid out again.
I do. Yes, this is the third time the plot is laid out where he says that, there's a checklist that a wrong demands to be righted. The past is not what it seems. And there's no future if it's not resolved. Which on this time I kind of took to mean because both sisters leave and are trapped in the forest. If they were to fail, Arendelle would have no
And they wouldn't
leadership?
be able to go back into the town
no.
because there's no water or
Yeah,
lots of wind.
that's true. The elements would be gone
fire.
forever. They would have to abandon Arendelle.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
also the elements stopped after the first attack.
I mean, my guess is they'd probably do that again if you tried to go back.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
I was like,
no. Anyway, we are like still in the first act.
Yeah, we
Anything
should
else
probably move
important,
on.
Sarah, before I move on?
No, keep going.
Awesome. Everyone travels far from Arendelle until they eventually reach the outside of the enchanted forest. Everyone, meaning the main characters, which is surrounded
Yes.
by a gigantic mist straight out of Curse of Strahd. They are pulled inside and find themselves unable to get out. The group gets separated from each other, with Olaf wandering by himself and not understanding the weird things happening in the forest. We get the When I Am Older song.
Samantha.
A tornado created by the air spirit then pulls everyone away, but Elsa tries to stop it with her powers. In the midst of everything, she sees what looks like images of memories shown through water. She freezes these images with one that looks like young Agnar and the Northuldra girl that saved him. The air spirit appears to have calmed down, gently blowing across the group, and Olaf even names it Gale. And they have a toy of Gale, which is just a
leaf?
swirly clear piece of plastic.
Huh. Earth, fire,
They
element toys that's a thing now. Okay.
Disney,
yeah,
what are you doing?
yeah. It's like one of the
I
sets.
understand
Yeah.
the lizard.
I saw
get
that.
it.
I saw that when it came
So
out,
cute.
and like the water horse and like the earth golems. Yeah, not golems. They're not golems. The
No,
D&D
they
thought is coming
are.
back again. But the whole like Miss Barovia thing is
Put it
absolutely.
to bed.
It's this is the last time it's going to come up. I think
Okay.
is the mists just it's
It's a
the same.
barrier.
Yeah, it's a barrier, and it's very similar. And yeah, it was when the movie came out, and someone posted a picture of like the shop at Disneyland, and had like a pack of Olaf and just like this rolly piece of plastic, and they're like, they made a toy of the dang wind.
Jeez.
That is surprising, I will say. I don't even know Samantha. Like, it's such a stupid
It's
joke, but
such
it
a
makes
funny
me laugh
joke.
out loud every single time.
It's so dumb. And like when he just like bends over laughing because he made himself crack up. It's like his sanity has reached its limit with this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then when the hole appears, just Samantha. I didn't like. I don't want to like the Samantha joke, but it's always funny.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Cameron hates it.
This comes out of nowhere. I can
I
tell.
thought it was okay. It was better than most of the jokes he makes.
I know one thing that Cameron is absolutely going to hate, because he hated when they did this in the Muppets, when they had the track shot of Olaf running through the forest and things are happening, and it's like just focused on his face. Yeah.
No, I thought that was okay.
Okay.
Not as
Actually.
You
bad
didn't
as
like
when,
it when they did it in the Muppets.
I didn't like what they did in the Muppets because the Muppets aren't supposed to move like that. Olaf, however, does move like a human, kind of,
Yeah.
but he moves more like a human than a Muppet does. Which is why I didn't like the Muppets. But this was,
Right.
I don't know.
That's fair. I'll allow it.
Somebody make hang-ups with the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And then he meets up with them again, and they get the whole water is memory thing, which I thought was such a cool like concept.
It's a very cool mechanic. The
that's what it is.
The
It's a
frozen
mechanic.
moments in time.
Yeah, because
And you even hear some dialogue.
when you
It's
go,
just
this is the part where like she's in the vortex and she sees King. It's not Agnar. It's the king before
King
him.
Agnar.
It is Agnar. Their
No,
dad.
Agnar is the son. King Ragnar. It's something R.
Roll up.
King Ragnar. King Ru.
Ragnar the Red. Yes.
It starts with an R. I'm positive.
Runar.
Look, I have Runar. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I got it.
and he's like for Arendelle, and then there's like a sword.
The sword arm thing is such a cool thing that they do.
It's a really cool effect, and because I was thinking when this movie came out, like, what are they gonna do to up the ante power wise? Because you got to do that when you've got a powered individual in a movie. And it's like she already caused an eternal winter, so like, where do you go from there? And introducing a mechanic where she's able to reveal moments in time, I thought was really
sort
cool.
of unravel this mystery.
Yeah.
Of what happened. Very cool.
Because of the water, because water passes through your body, it remembers it, so you're able to just boom show the.
Just don't think about it too hard. It's magic.
The science of it makes no sense, but the magic makes perfect sense.
As a story element, it makes perfect sense.
The gang is then approached by a tribe of Northuldra led by Yelena, voiced by Martha Plimpton, as well as Arendellian soldiers led by Lieutenant Destin Matthias, voiced by Sterling K. Brown, whom Anna recognizes from a portrait in their castle. They become aware of Elsa's powers quickly, and Olaf even takes time to recap their last adventure together to everyone. Soon they are attacked by the fire spirit, which starts to spread bright colored flames across everything. Elsa once again uses her ice magic to contain the flame. She then follows the fire spirit until it appears as nothing more than a little salamander named Bruni, apparently.
Bruni.
When he sees that Elsa means him no harm, he sells his flames. They hear the mysterious calling once again. After Anna gets Elsa, they run back to the ice statues Elsa made and realize that the girl who saved Agnar was Iduna, meaning their mother was Northuldra, and the spirits rewarded her deed by giving her daughter powers, gifting her daughter with. Nope, I said it right.
What?
They wrote it down wrong. gifting her daughter with powers. This revelation allows the Arendelians and Northuldra to form a truce. I wrote one of the notes I wrote down is that there's a throwaway line that the scarf is from one of the oldest families, which I gotta have something to do with the fifth spirit lineage
Hold on.
thing.
I mean, they're royalty, so obviously they're the oldest family.
Well,
yeah, that might be all it means. I don't know.
so the idea. Wait, so that's what confused me. Is the idea that Aduna was royalty in the Northuldra?
Oh,
Yeah, because it's
I
the
think
mother's scarf.
I think that is a possibility. However,
Do you think that,
I don't think so.
I don't think that the elder is her father.
No, I don't think
necessarily.
so. Could be.
He's
I
way
mean,
too
there's
old.
a lot of things they could do,
Yeah,
but I think
never-
she was just
I'm gonna assume that her parents died, or maybe she's not a real person because she's the fifth spirit or something. I don't know. It's confusing.
don't
no?
go that far.
I'm not going that far.
That's a can of worms I do not need to open right now.
Don't need to open that. Anything else in that part? Not
I do
really.
think it's funny how after 30 years, Yelena and Matthias have kind of a banter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that it was very antagonistic in the beginning, but 30 years on, they're just like,
And they've got like their own
"Wanna
like
fight today?"
they've got their own turf basically,
mm-hmm.
and like
Also,
when they go berserk when they see Anna holding a sword. It's like, get the sword. It's
Yeah,
like, why are you going super aggro? Is it because it looks? Is it?
I thought about that today.
Get
I
the
think
sword!
maybe just because there are new people with a weapon, there's a new element to their turf war.
And
I don't
love
know. I think
Anna-
it's just
Anna
a
grabbing
reason to
the
get them all
sword.
moving toward Elsa.
Yeah. It's like, what are you gonna
That's
do with
pretty
that?
great.
I have no idea.
She's ready to fight.
I mean, in the trailer, she swings at the camera.
She does.
I
We
didn't
thought we were
watch
gonna
the
get like
trailer.
Action.
monster, like creepy monster.
I think I
action,
watched the
yeah.
teaser trailer. That was it. So there's the fire spirit.
Yeah. What's the deal with the fire
What-
spirit? Why does the
why
fire
does-
spirit get to be an animal?
Why does the fire spirit have to be cooled off? Isn't that like putting out Charmander's tail? Like, wouldn't that kill
Yeah,
the fire spirit?
I
Why?
will say I think
Why?
that
What?
in this movie, each of them needs to be tamed. Like
Yeah.
Gale needs to stop raging the wind. I think it's just a
Which happens by Elsa just like
Freezing the
spamming
wind.
her powers. Freezing.
yeah. So I think in that case, just making it not burn down the forest.
I get it, like calming it down, but
Like
like
subdued.
like-
Well, because she backs it into a corner and then she calms it down, and because she could have just like blam, and it probably would have like exploded.
but
Yeah.
later on in the movie, it like acts like it's like way more comfortable after she like puts it in snow or like, you know what I mean? Cools it
Mhm.
off. It's like, why
Yeah.
does it have to be cooled off? What is
Because it's cute.
this? Is a fire spirit. Shouldn't it like being hot? It
Because
makes
it's cute.
fire. It is
It
fire.
seems. I mean, it seems to like it when it sploots out in her hands and like steam comes up, and it seems to enjoy that. Maybe it doesn't like being hot.
I don't get that at all.
I don't know. The salamander makes no sense to me, but it's cute. It licks its eyeball and it eats itself out of her hands,
It's
and that's
really
Purely
cute.
made so that
Would it
the
just-
wind toy was not alone.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the water horse. I've got thoughts about the water horse that
Me too, actually.
which
Well,
Sarah knows my thoughts about the water horse.
I do.
Kristoff meets a
Okay.
Northuldra reindeer tamer named Ryder, voiced by Jason Ritter.
Mhm.
And Ryder is named after Sarah.
Lead writer Chris Buck's son, who died from cancer shortly before Frozen came out.
Yeah.
And he's kind of modeled after the personality of Ryder.
Yeah,
So,
so
That's
that's part of.
kind of a fun fact.
It's a fun fact about the character Ryder. I like Ryder a lot.
I think it makes him a more interesting character.
He's
'cause
hilarious.
yeah.
And I believe Honey Marin is introduced here too, which is his sister. The two of them
Mhm.
bond over the way they treat their reindeer, specifically the way they give their reindeer voices. He tells Kristoff that because of the mist, most of the people there have only lived in the forest and have never seen the outside world. Elsa befriends Ryder's sister, Honey Marin, voiced by Rachel Matthews, who shows Elsa that in addition to the four main spirits, there's a fifth spirit that acts as a bridge between the other spirits. After witnessing Earth giants roaming across the land, Anna notices Kristoff is gone, not realizing he is with Ryder, like 20 feet away, who has tried to help Kristoff come up with an elaborate proposal. She takes off with Elsa and Olaf, which leads Kristoff to think she's gone away after learning this from Yelena. He expresses his sorrow, but also how strong his love for Anna is in the Lost in the Woods number. Granted, I think if she had walked into that clearing, this would have not been a good time. All of the times that he tries, all of the times that he tries to propose would have just been like,
terrible.
Yeah, there's an adventure. Wait until the adventure's over, Kristoff.
Mortal peril, Kristoff.
Or like when he tries to do it on the wagon, like, you guys are on the wagon ride doing it. You want to propose now? Or like when they get into the forest, like, you want to do it now. Like, his timing is
impeccably bad. Yeah.
Like, yeah, we've met these strange people. The universe is at stake. People have died and people will die. I'm standing here on this rock. Will you marry me?
I do think it's dumb that he doesn't bother to make sure Anna
his dumb face
be there. Yeah. Like, they do this elaborate thing that takes hours to do. He doesn't make sure that Anna like, hey, come and see me in this romantic meadow at dawn.
Yeah.
Doesn't think to plan that.
I feel like that's very Kristoff, and that's a very guy thing to do, is you go through like all this work, but you forget just like the most important
the linchpin.
Yeah, it's like, just let her know this. And the thing is he says, like, if we start now, we could be finished by dawn. So Kristoff and Ryder don't get a night's sleep, and the movie ends midday the next day. So from this point on through the rest of the movie, Kristoff is sleep deprived. Remember that.
He's sleep deprived for his wedding.
Yeah.
He's not even thinking straight.
So like, he's not thinking straight. None of them have eaten anything, except for like the first night, which I guess is fine. Like, you have a hearty dinner and then.
Yeah, I assume they got fed by the North Aldra.
Yeah,
in that little camp.
Maybe Kristoff didn't, because he was up with Ryder.
Almost immediately, yeah.
Yeah, which I think is funny. Lost in the Woods. I love Lost in the Woods.
I will say one thing.
Yes, Sarah. You didn't like it the first time.
It took me out of the movie. It's like my suspension of disbelief was like, what is this? This is a power ballad?
Yeah.
But it's great. It's fun.
I was prepared for it. I knew that there was an 80s power ballad in the movie, so I knew it was coming, and I was able to brace myself for it, and I've loved it the whole time. I think
it came out of left field for me. I had no idea. I think
it's such a good song, and it sort of fulfills the role that In Summer does, kind of, in the first movie, where it's just. No, not even that, because in that movie, that song is just funny, but like, Olaf kind of has a funny song in this one, but it still is pertinent to his character arc, and this one is still very pertinent to Kristoff's character arc and understanding him as a person. And it's
I think where you're going with this is sort of just a tension breaker, sort of halfway through the film.
It's a tension.
That's
breaker.
what In Summer was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's
but
leading up to
In Summer didn't serve a purpose. Whereas this one does. I don't like In Summer.
It kind of established Olaf
as a funny character, but no, like, you didn't need that. But we're not talking about one. And this is it's a great, and it's, I don't know, Cameron. I can already guess what your thoughts are on it.
I didn't like the song. I don't know why. Maybe I have to listen to it again. Also, I don't have any comments.
Took me a few.
It's good.
A few tries.
It might just be one of those songs I have to listen to again.
Maybe. Anna, Elsa, and Olaf continue their journey until they come across the ruins of Agnarnadu in a ship. Through the water memories, Elsa learns that they set off to find answers about Elsa's powers, even witnessing their final moments where they embrace as the waters consumed them.
It's a really sad moment.
They search the ship until they find a map revealing that their parents were headed for the fabled river of Atahallan. Elsa knows she has to go there alone, so she sends Anna and Olaf away on an ice boat that she makes to express their anger over Elsa ditching them, even if she did it for their own good. Which, she absolutely did. They both would have died, or I guess. Anyway, we get like this gets dark for a Disney movie.
Yes, it
Because
does.
you see like their final moments before they die, and Olaf has a very chilling line, which is like, "I thought nobody could get through the mist unless nobody was on it when it went through." And it's like,
They were
okay, so
dead.
yeah, everyone was dead on board. So I was like, are we gonna see like skeletons or bodies
Yeah.
on this thing?
I think because it capsized, there were no bodies in
There
it.
were no bodies. Yeah, they're long
Yeah.
gone. Yeah, thoughts.
I think
on
it's
that?
interesting that I think it's interesting that that the ship has a black box. I don't know if that was a thing in the 1800s to keep
It
the
wasn't
manifest.
It wasn't called the black
I didn't
box,
make
but
that connection, but that's weird. Yeah.
Like
well, it's the other way around. Black boxes and planes are named after those boxes.
that makes sense. Yeah, just to sort
Planes
of
didn't
show
always
like
have black boxes.
to show what they were
That's like
doing,
the
where they were
60s or
going, and who
70s.
was on board.
Yeah, like ship
Yeah,
registry
I think
and
that's
stuff like that.
interesting. That's probably a thing. Yeah, you would know.
Waterproof. It's pretty cool.
They're-
Yeah. Oh, and like you hear their final moments and all that.
So sad. Oh my word.
And it
Oh,
officially debunks the theory that they crashed in Africa and gave birth to Tarzan.
On the way to Rapunzel's wedding.
Yes.
What
That
in
was
the heck?
That was
That
a
was a-
prevalent fan theory.
That was a prevalent fan theory that they were on their way to Rapunzel's wedding and they
Going from Norway to Germany,
to Germany
and somehow
ended up in Africa and gave birth to
Sub-Saharan.
Tarzan, and Tarzan's mom is Aduna. That was like a just theory that most people
just
believed.
because white people look a lot alike.
And
That's-
all these
that's
movies
it.
have to be
All
connected.
related.
Yeah.
So
I
and they're
did.
like, yeah,
There was.
they have a brother and his name is Tarzan.
Yeah, unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. I mean, they are all in the same time period. Like, I do believe
Is he? I thought he
Tarzan.
was in the 1900s or something.
Possibly. Yeah,
I think
actually don't
Tarzan's
know.
like 19
It is-
teens.
It's still during sort of the end of the British Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, so that might be 1800s.
It might be because this takes place in 1860s. It's
Yeah.
hypothetical, but it is disproved, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. We get because they died here. We get some interesting character development from Olaf of sensing rising anger in himself, which
I think
I love that scene.
it's a great piece because that's a thing that happens with children is they have to taught how to process emotion, like
Yeah, and
which
that's him
emotions
learning
they're
how
feeling.
to. It's him learning how to process anger because he's never like been like
Because they
fully
had such
angry
a
before.
perfect life. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. We
Don't
did.
get any payoff for that though, so it doesn't matter.
Do we?
No, not really.
The payoff is me noticing it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not payoff.
Well, he learns. Well, he dies. So that's the payoff.
Well, he died in the
Yes.
last one. Whatever.
Did he die in the last one?
Dies
He
every
melted
movie.
a little bit.
Yeah, he
Oh,
melts.
right.
Oh no, I'm too close to the fire. I'm gonna melt. And it's like whatever. She'll bring you back.
Some people are worth melting. That was the
Yeah.
big like emotional line of the first movie was some people are worth melting for, which like I feel like gets outdone so many times in this movie by just
Mm-hmm.
better pathos.
Yes. I talk
Um,
about that a lot.
Ice Boat.
Those.
Possible reference to the ride Maelstrom, which got torn down and replaced by a frozen ride.
dare you? How dare you bring up that ride?
Did you not?
What?
Do you not like that? Do you not like Maelstrom?
No, that just came out of left field. I was about to talk about Anna
always
and Elsa's
thought-
relationship,
no,
and you
I
bring up
always thought-
Maelstrom.
I always thought that scene was a reference to Maelstrom.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know
'cause
what
it's,
that is.
Scandinavian people
guess.
on a boat in a river.
It is a ride in Epcot.
Was a ride in
Was a
Epcot.
ride in Epcot.
Now it's
featuring Vikings
Frozen.
and Scandinavian history, and
now
it's
it's
not
just a
Frozen. Yeah.
retelling of the first movie.
Sure.
Should have
Sure.
waited. You could have made it a cool Enchanted Forest themed thing, but
Sure.
whatever.
they can update it.
All
Okay.
right,
I would like to talk about.
go.
Well, it's just the thing I wanted to talk about with the
Yes,
fire, but
go.
I got distracted.
Go.
But it's just
Yes.
okay. Can I
Yes. Okay.
go? Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Gonna go?
Can I
I'm
go?
done with this bit. Go.
Sorry, I gotta go. I gotta find my notes.
Oh, my.
No, I don't. I just want to make sure that I'm saying all that I wanted to say.
Do it. Then just
because
say it.
Well,
Anna
we're going to
is
talk about it again when we get to the next part
Oh
here.
my
So,
gosh.
Anna
Hey.
is just always trying to prevent anything from happening to Elsa, to the point where she gets mad at her for dealing with the fire spirit and going into fire, and she's like, if you don't want me to follow you into fire, don't go into fire. Anna is wrong in that instance,
She's
but
wrong
she's
in
also
every instance.
she's
yeah.
also right, because she says in this scene that she says, if you go alone, who's going to stop you from going too far? And she brings back, I'm sorry,
And she
hello,
does go
Kitty.
too far. Hello, kitty.
She does go too far, and she
Yeah.
brings back the nursery rhyme again, like, go too far and you'll be drowned.
Right.
You want love?
Get
We
that
all want
cat
love.
outta here.
And so the whole movie, she's trying to save Elsa from
It's
like
the
the whole center
holding
of her
on
world.
tight mentality.
Yes,
Where
that's
she's
exactly.
being overprotective of Elsa, and Elsa is being too reckless because she's trying to like
Yes.
put like all of the responsibility on
She's
herself.
trying to do everything. Anna says it, like, be everything to everyone.
Yes, which they're both wrong. Elsa shouldn't be everything to
Yes.
everyone, but Anna should also know her human non-magic limitations.
Yes, she would not have been
fire
able to
burns.
make it to Otta Holland. Like, that water would not have been crossable for two people.
Yeah, they get to the shore and it's like, okay, Anna, what's the plan?
Yeah, so I just think that's an interesting dynamic throughout, sort of the pull and push and pull of them both being right and wrong.
Yes.
And like, Elsa was wrong to push them away, like in that trick hug, but also
They're there.
but I also think, because of the whole bridge thing,
Mm-hmm.
We're eventually going to have to explain the bridge thing, but
It's good. It's a good thing.
I think Elsa has to make the mistake in order for the forest to be released.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
So.
she would have.
She has to go too far, and Anna
I
has to rescue
believe,
her, because there are
like
two
when
sides.
she's in the, we'll
of
get
the
there,
fifth
but
story.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get there. We're not even at Holland yet.
Okay.
But Elsa attempts to get to Atahalan across the water, but she keeps getting taken down by the water spirit, which appears as a knock, N-O-K-K. So it is a mythology thing. After taming the spirit, she rides it as she follows the voice, eager to find out where it's coming from. We get the best song, Show Yourself. Once she
Yes.
reaches Atahalan, she comes across her own memories and learns that the voice is that of Aduna calling out to her. When Elsa tries to find out what went wrong, she learns the truth. Runard wanted to subjugate the Northuldra by creating a dam to limit their resources due to their reliance on magic, which Runard hated. When the Northuldra leader tried to reason with him, Runard murdered him while he was unarmed. Elsa gets too deep into Atahalan, which causes her to turn into solid ice, but not before she sends this information to Anna, before she and Olaf set off to send help. Olaf begins to disintegrate, realizing something is wrong with Elsa. Anna holds Olaf, and they reaffirm their love for each other before he is gone. Anna sits alone in despair until she picks herself up and vows to push forward with the next right thing. So we get two songs in this section.
Yeah, that was a lot. We have to talk about all of this.
We have to talk about
Yeah,
all of
we
it.
are.
The horse killed their parents. I want to talk about that. How that's just never really addressed. She tames this horse and she's like happy-go-lucky riding this horse later, but that horse
You think it was the spirit and not just nature?
well, nature is the
Sort of like a water dragon or some crap.
But are you saying it was malicious or just?
I'm not saying it's malicious. I'm just saying that horse did kill their parents. And that's just
Well, yeah, the horse tried to kill her
Technically,
too.
the
so-
horse
That's true.
tried to drown Elsa. Yeah.
It needed to be tamed.
Yes, it did.
It was still in its unruly state. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just wish
Yeah.
that was addressed just a
Okay.
little bit. When she sees her mom, and when it turns into a duet with Evan Rachel Wood,
Yes.
it's good. It's really good.
Okay, so I want to talk about. Oh, sorry.
I'm
go
going to
ahead.
talk about
Yeah.
the original plan.
Mhm,
Originally in the movie, she would get there and it would be like a reflection of herself, and then she'd like step through the reflection and realize that the fifth spirit was in her the whole time, which didn't make sense to anybody and is dumb. And
Yeah.
so eventually they were just like, what if we just make it her mom? And they're like, oh, that makes more sense. And I think it's a lot better. Having the voice
I
be her
agree.
mother instead of the voice being herself from the future or something.
Yes.
Yes, go on, Sarah.
Or
Yes. Well,
could
I
have just
wanted
been
to
the
talk
fifth
about
spirit.
Elsa's hair because in the
Right, the
first movie,
progression.
if you'll remember, she has the tight bun, and then
Yes.
she cuts loose and she has the one that's down here. And
Let
then
it
in
go.
this one, so when she starts this movie, she still has a braid and she's still kind of bottled up. And this is the moment where her hair is completely loosened down, where she finally feels like herself.
Right.
It's
With the Show Yourself
It's great.
song.
Yes.
It's good. And I
Yes.
don't know if I just wasn't paying attention the first time I watched this, but I didn't make the connection that the voice was her mom the first time I watched the movie. I didn't get that until the second time I
Yeah.
watched it. I mean, she literally says mother, and it's a giant
She does.
ice hologram of her mom. It's like, duh. Of course, it's her mom.
I did kind of put together some things with the lyrics where, because she's saying show yourself because she's trying to find this
Who
fifth
the fifth
spirit.
spirit is? Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to find a kindred spirit, and then when she's having the duet, and her mom says like, you are the one you've been waiting for all your life, like
Yeah.
you complete yourself.
Mhm.
And then they say show yourself again. It kind of goes from show yourself person to you Elsa, show yourself that you are enough. I kind of the parallels of the lines.
Right. It's good. It's good stuff.
It's good. It's very good. I like it a
very-
lot.
A very emotional song. It gets me every
It
time.
is so
It's
good. Yeah.
When the moment, and like this was a later thing they added, the moment when it reprises the lullaby, and
Mhm.
it's Aduna singing it, because she's like
When you talking about when she after the memory
it's like
area?
I can't wait one moment more and stuff, and then she like ignites the symbol, and then everything
Right.
lights up, and it's like, oh, we're gonna find out who it is, and then it's the mom singing the lullaby.
Mm-hmm.
Is so good.
It's really good. But talking of the lullaby, when she sees all of her old memories in the snow and stuff,
Right.
and then she starts to see some of her mom's with her mom confessing
Right.
to Agnar, and
I
then
think I know where you're going with this.
well, then they say they see King Reynard, and you kind of start to
Oh,
understand
right.
like let's bring Arendelle's full guard. You can't trust magic. Her mom gives her one final warning, like go too far and you'll be drowned.
And she goes further down.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I
is
just
where
think
is
she sees
she sees the
Reynard
crux of it. Mhm.
kill the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, at first I thought that Alta Holland was like, oh, it's showing like the mom has been, watching them grow up this whole time or whatever. But it's the iceberg is its own thing. I don't think Alta Holland is the fifth spirit. Alta Holland is a location that is its own magical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's that concept that's kind of implied by the trolls that like the truth comes at a price. And
Mhm.
like what the truth is, and she's able to like tell Anna, but she totally beefs it. She dies.
Yeah. Like she could have left, but she wanted to know the truth, and that in order to release the forest, she had to make that sacrifice.
Yeah,
Let me go back to where my mouse.
it was so cold.
What
it
Poppy
froze
says.
Elsa.
Yes, the first time she ever, I think, feels cold.
Yeah, she shivers when she starts going
She's
down
never
there. It's
done that
nuts.
before.
Gotta say, I'm glad it wasn't just like drowning. It was just like,
Yeah.
oh
Like,
yeah, she's
like, it was-
freezing instead of drowning. Like it was a
Yeah.
metaphor.
If she
like that.
actually, oh my gosh, if she actually drowned, that would have been so dark.
So
Like,
dark.
it's still dark, but like, see, I don't like characters drowning in movies.
That's a particularly terrifying thing.
I would,
to watch.
as a kid, I would always hit scene skip at the very beginning of Return of the King and skip
Mhm.
past Smeagol drowning Deagle. I hate
Yeah.
watching that.
That's hard.
Also, they're just both like
Yeah.
not attractive. working at all, and you're just
Should
like,
have had Andy Serkis in this movie. They got
Yeah.
Alan
So
Tudyk.
I remember.
Yep.
he's
Yeah,
way
Sarah.
above
they got
this
Alan
movie.
Tudyk.
I just real
I-
briefly, they got Alan Tudyk back for this movie. He does reprise his role as the King of Wesselton, but he also
Duke.
voices the Duke of Wesselton, the King. Goodness. He also voices the Northuldra leader in the flashbacks, one of the Arendellian soldiers, and one of the guards. So like he
He's just a
voices
voice
he voices
guy.
3 just major, like not major characters, just like serious like characters, not joke characters. And it's Alan Tudyk.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. I
He's-
probably just
he's-
said, give me. I can do a bunch of voices.
He's been living his best life. I mean, he had
Yes.
Frozen 2, Doom Patrol, the Harley Quinn show. He's just
Mhm.
doing what he wants to do. Go on,
It's a
Sarah.
dream.
You had some more.
I did, yes. I remembered. It's actually from the Lullaby. So it's at the very end where she says, "Come, my darling, homeward bound," also because her mom is there at Atahalan.
Mhm.
And then it says, "When all is lost, then all is found." Like the price has to be
Okay.
paid in order for the secret to be revealed. That's
And the secret. Okay, going off of that, and the secret, the truth, all is found, is revealed to Anna, who does lose everything when she finds out about it. Minus Kristoff. That's sort of like an edge case.
Well-
she thinks that he left. She thinks he's left.
She thinks that relationship is over.
And then when
that
Olaf
she's lost
died,
that
yeah,
surety.
and then when Olaf, because she's had doubts about Kristoff the entire movie because he's bad at
Mhm.
talking, and and then when Olaf dies, that implies that Elsa's dead, and so she has that to deal with. And
yeah, she kind of has
that-
to grieve both of them.
you're right. No, you're right. Into the Unknown is the third best because the second best is Next Right Thing.
Yes, I was right. Yeah, you'd forgotten about this song.
I had.
This song gives me chills every single time
Mm-hmm.
because she's pathos.
Pathos.
It's so
it's
good.
good. It's good.
It's so good.
Um,
Cameron, I don't care if you disagree with me.
I thought the song was good.
it's good. I need to. I'm gonna.
It's the
I'm-
I didn't
most
like the
adult
emotion, but I
moment.
thought the song was good.
Okay. Okay. I didn't cry today watching it for the 18th time. I don't know what you're talking
That
about.
emotion right there. Where were we?
Move on to the
Okay,
next section, I guess.
We are into the third act.
Yes.
I think we're already in the third act.
I think we're
When
on the
Elsa-
third act. When I think when she
Alright.
when she
when
goes,
Elsa arrives.
when
at
when she,
Atahalan.
when she leaves for Atahalan is the third act.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anna knows that
Rising
the-
action.
Yes. Don't
Falling
even.
action.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's got the. Anna knows that the dam must be destroyed, even if it means sending a flood towards Arendelle. She goes to wake up the Earth Giants and gets them to follow her towards the dam. Matthias sees this and tries to stop Anna. But after she convinces him that Elsa learned the truth about the dam and why it must be destroyed, he relents and lures the giants there. The giants hurl boulders towards the dam, which breaks and sends the water flowing back towards the kingdom. Elsa is revived, and she rides the knock back to Arendelle, where she freezes the water and brings it down before it hits Arendelle, thus saving the kingdom and lifting the mist in the forest, freeing the soldiers and Northuldra.
We didn't talk about the song. You're going past the song.
You want to talk? Okay, let's go
What
back.
song?
to
I
the
just
song.
want to briefly talk about the song, if I may.
And I kind of want to briefly talk about Olaf dying, because you
Yeah,
get
let's
to
talk
see
about
him die somewhat drawn out.
Yeah. And I mean, it's
That's about it.
sad, but I think that she's also mourning her sister in that moment.
Right.
So,
That's most of it.
like, she's hugging something because she
Mhm.
can't hug her sister.
And we find out in the end credits that it wasn't just Olaf that died, because Elsa did.
All of the little snow monsters.
All
and
of the snow
babies.
monsters she'd made died, and then they came
Yeah.
back. I don't think Cameron watched the end credit scene.
I did.
Well,
Oh, you did?
okay,
Oh.
good.
Yep,
Yeah.
I did.
Don't
Don't worry, I
Um,
got you.
I mean, you.
I'm
Yeah, we'll get to.
yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, go on. Next right thing.
Yeah, next right thing.
Oh, let's talk
It
about
kind
that.
of. What?
Can we also
I
talk
thought
We're
we
gonna
were
talk about that.
Okay.
the
I thought we were
energy
done talking
Olaf
about it.
has?
No, we were
I
talking
just
about
wanna
Olaf
briefly
dying.
Talk
Oh,
about the
okay.
moment when they go into the cave, and Olaf says, "It's a spooky cave." Oh no. Or we're like, Anna says, like, "We're in a cave with no way out," and Olaf's like, "But there's a spooky way in," and then like goes into the pitch black hole. And,
That's funny.
what's the worst that could happen? You starve and I give up because he can't.
Yeah, that's really dark when he says that. Because he wouldn't die. He would just be
No.
stuck in there with her dead body.
Oh my
Good
gosh.
times.
Okay,
Good
go
times.
on. I
Yeah,
forgot.
so-
I forgot to talk about that.
Yeah, you really leaped ahead. And I was like, I have an entire page of notes that you're skipping over.
Sorry.
But when she's singing the song, she's at, her very lowest point, and she lays out and kind of realizes that she's been living her life for her sister for so
Yeah.
long. She's like, I follow you around. I always have. I can't find my direction. The only star that guided me was you. Like, her whole reason for living is over. And now she has to, she slowly climbs her way up. She's like, let me just do the thing in front of me and not look too far ahead.
And
Yeah.
metaphorically climbing up.
Yes.
Cover up Kristen.
And she has a couple really nice opera notes because Kristen Bell has opera training in her background, which I really appreciate. But then she finally makes it to the top, and she sees the sun and she sees the dam. And she's like, I know nothing will ever be the same again, but I have to do this no matter what the cost.
And I love that. Calling back to some things never change. Literally everything she talked about is either
Everything
gone or dead.
is done. Yes.
Yeah, like she's not with Kristoff and her sister's dead and Olaf's dead. The whole holding on tight to you, everyone that she says that to, she is disconnected from now.
And she knows that she has to destroy her home.
Yeah.
Yes, everything is going to be
It's a complete opposite from something's never changed to nothing will ever be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And
then, okay.
And then we get Matthias being like, oh, she's leading them towards the dam when she's literally just running in a straight line away from giants.
Well, she doesn't. They watch her
5 feet away
antagonize.
from her.
Yeah.
I think that Matthias has some plot knowledge he shouldn't have. He should be like,
Maybe.
oh my gosh, they are going to kill her. Instead, he's like, she's clearly leading them towards the dam. Like,
He should have been more freaked out, as if like she didn't know that she was leading him towards the dam. Because I can understand if, like someone who like understands like battle tactics and stuff like that would probably look at it like that and be like, oh my gosh, she's leading the enemy right to us. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's how I kind of
guess
saw it.
in that
The way it was
context-
delivered was more like
She actively
had a plan.
antagonizes them and then runs to the dam.
So in that aspect, it doesn't really matter what her intent is. It's that she's leading them towards the dam, whether she's planning to or not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there is a moment that I interpret differently than I think the movie wants me to. And Sarah, I'll get you just 1 second.
It's okay.
When Anna tells Matthias what's going on, and there's a moment where he pauses and then he's like, okay, well, then he like bangs on the shield and gets the guys there. I always kind of see like the gears are working in his head and he does believe her, but he's also thinking of that she just told him that Elsa's dead, which means the chain of command is now on Anna. So
I think it's both those things.
I think it's both. So he's like,
yeah,
like this needs to happen, and also I don't really have a choice because
she
she's
is giving
queen
him a
now.
direct order.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is the queen now, basically.
Yeah.
Which I always like. I think he recognizes that and he respects that, and he also realizes that
The
the
dam
dam
has to
needs
go.
I didn't. I mean, I didn't realize the dam until later into the movie. The first time I watched it, although it is pretty like. I don't know how dams work. If it's bad, inherently bad.
They're usually bad. They're good at producing energy, but they're bad for nature.
Okay, good to know.
Yes.
I know that if the dam I live next to broke, it would mess up like a lot of Ogden.
Yeah, it would.
It would.
Your house would probably be underwater, maybe.
Well, my house is on the other side of it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm
The
thinking
dam's
opposite.
over there. If the dam
Right.
broke, it would flood Ogden Canyon and a lot of the suburbs, possibly Weaver
Yeah.
State. Hopefully.
A little bit, maybe.
State.
Hopefully.
What? I didn't say anything.
Okay, I would like to talk about the Earth Giants.
Go for it.
Yeah,
since
do
you're-
it.
You're getting fired right now.
Talk to me. No, I can't.
So-
I've got their merch.
Yeah. So
It was free.
Elsa defeats the wind, the fire, and the water, but I was always worried, like, why does she never defeat the stone giant, the earth elemental? Because Anna does. in this scene.
Does she though?
Yes.
Does she really? I mean,
Well,
what she really does is she makes them mad, runs to the dam, they destroy the dam, and then you never hear from her again. You really think she
then
defeated them?
Yes. Because otherwise they haven't been defeated. And afterwards, when they like touch the heads to Anna and Elsa, they're tame. So.
Oh right,
This is at least my interpretation. They touch the nose.
Touch my nose.
They have like a little concession moment.
Touch my
Anyways, that's my light bulb moment.
Is that part of the
disagrees. Bridge? Oh, should we talk about the bridge? We haven't talked about the bridge yet.
Have we gotten to the bridge yet?
No, we haven't.
Not yet.
No, we haven't.
So the soldiers are freed. Great line from Kristoff when he saves her from, when Sven technically and Kristoff save her from being just stomped, and all he says is, "I'm here. What do you need?"
Yes, there's no like typical Disney moment like, "Oh, Anna, let me tell you how," and then Anna's like, "Oh, we don't have time for this." It's just
like, "We need to go destroy the dam." "Oh, why do we need to destroy the dam? That's a terrible idea." All he says is, "I'm here.
There to help."
And then he just does what needs to be done. That's
so good.
Because he's respectful and he's somewhat simple. I just can't get over the expression in this shot.
It's pretty great.
And
it's a good one.
And he has a second line about that later when she apologizes for leaving and he says, "My love isn't fragile."
Our love isn't fragile.
Our love? Okay.
Just my love.
Pretty
no,
sure.
Just my love's not fragile.
Yours,
yours is.
You lost it when Olaf melted. Both times.
It's embarrassing.
What are we gonna have? How are we gonna kill Olaf in the third movie?
Oh no.
There's only so many times you can kill a character. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of an example, but I can't. Something. I'm sure Fast and Furious, whatever. Elsa reunites with Anna, and the two sisters hug. Kristoff and Sven run down there too, and Elsa revives Olaf. Anna and Krista determine that Elsa is the fifth spirit, and she has become the bridge between the other spirits, more or less. Kristoff then finally manages to propose to Anna, with actually good timing this time. And she excitedly accepts. The giants then appear to show their respect and gratitude toward Anna and Elsa.
Mm-hmm.
No talk about the bridge, Sarah.
Okay. Well, it's I don't know why we drag it out this time. Like, you're the fifth spirit. She's the bridge, and then Elsa says, "Well, actually, a bridge has two sides, and Mom had two daughters."
Right.
The two sisters
and
too.
Yeah.
Technically, they're
and
both.
Like, without Elsa, sacrificing herself and Anna destroying the dam, it would not have been possible. Like, those two things both needed to happen.
People. It needed one person to sacrifice themselves in the glacier, and one person, right?
To destroy the dam.
One person couldn't have done it on their own because they would have been dead.
Yes. Bridge.
Yes.
Bridge stuff. Poor Cameron. I wish he could enjoy this with us.
Yeah.
That's his role in this show. And
bringing down Disney one peg at a time.
One thing that one criticism I did see that I don't fully agree with, but I kind of is, I think it would have been an interesting payoff to have Arendelle actually be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been cool, and I think that would have been consequences. But it gets saved because she levels out the water, and that's fine. I don't know if I would have preferred it the other way, because I haven't seen that movie.
So on that fact, consequences. There are no consequences because everybody comes back to life. And then also, the whole city. There's a giant amount of water. That was a huge dam that got destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then she freezes it, and then the water just disappears. I'm like, that's not how water works. Water goes somewhere. Matter just doesn't disappear because you froze it.
See,
Like that water
don't
has
know
to
if-
still flow back into the ocean.
it's
The
kind of like
tide should have at least risen. But no,
It just
it's
it just
magically gone. Whatever.
redistributed.
I don't know what happened to the
it
millions of
redistributed.
gallons
It's like
of water
the,
that
it's like
happened.
the water
but
puzzle in Die Hard 2. So you got like the whole dam, and the dam comes down because all that water is there. The water everywhere else isn't going to change once that water goes down, aside from the initial.
why not? That's how dams work.
whoosh. Well, it's just holding the flow of water back. If you take a river
No, but when
and
you
you dam
it
it
up,
off,
you're dropping down one level and you're raising up the other level. And so
Right.
when you do that, they're going to level off a little bit more. So one of the tides should have risen. The river should be
It is
higher
in a
now.
fjord, so some of it did go out into the ocean.
right, you
Right.
got the ocean there.
Still,
The ocean's pretty big, Cameron, so I don't think it would
Doesn't-
have affected the city that much. It would have just gone back into the ocean. All she did was just
somebody who
It-
knows more about physics, put it in the comments.
put it in the comments.
Who's
Is that
right?
how fjords work? I mean, it makes sense to me.
I don't think Disney Animation was too concerned about physics when they made
But
this
they were
movie.
concerned about
Sure,
making
they're working on a
they were
physics
concerned
engine.
about making the water look really good.
It
The
does look
water in this
fantastic.
movie looks
Yeah.
fantastic. And as a longtime animation fan, water has always been a pain in the butt for
Mhm.
people to make look right. And like
Yeah.
also like the clothing physics when like clothing gets wet especially is absolutely nuts. And like with Anna's clothing, you get to see Anna get completely drenched and then the clothing slowly dry out over time, which is I
Mhm.
think is really cool. And because like the
She
material,
has
it's like
she has a great outfit in this.
all of the costume design is great in this. Oh, Kristoff's is a little like plain.
It's all the same.
It's a little samey to what he wears in the
Yeah.
first movie. I like how he's able to pull off the pointy-toed shoes.
Hmm
That looks like the penguin in that suit.
Oh yeah, when he's in the suit at the end, absolutely.
I was like,
Absolutely.
oh,
Are we
penguin.
there yet?
It looks too much like Hans in that suit. It makes
Oh,
me
yeah?
uncomfortable.
Yeah, which is why she messes up his hair, I think.
Yeah.
And she's well. Anyway,
Waiting for him to eat the cat or something.
the end of the recap. After returning to Arendelle, Anna becomes the new queen, as Elsa has decided to stay in the forest where she is needed. The sisters
Mhm.
regularly keep in touch, and Elsa rides the knock back to Arendelle for a visit. End of movie. End credit scene. Olaf recaps the movie to all of the things and all of the ice creatures from Frozen and Frozen Fever.
Oh,
and
Mhm.
and they gave the troll a line finally.
yeah,
They
and it
cut
says,
his line in the last one.
"Rude," which I love. How like Olaf went back up there to explain to everyone why they were dead for like
A
30
few
minutes.
hours, yeah. It was at least like I think Anna was in that cave for a few hours just crying.
That's depressing to think about, but that's probably true because it was like evening
Mm-hmm.
when they went in there, and then it was morning when she probably slept in that cave.
Mm-hmm. It's real sad.
That's real sad.
It's got them good feels there.
Got them good feels.
I just wanted to talk about one more thing. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna do, but like
Go
I
for it.
have a
No,
whole
we're not at
page
the end
and
of
a
the
half.
movie. Well,
Yeah.
we're not at the end of
done
the
yet.
movie, but
We still got more stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
good.
it was just something that I noticed a few times that when the sisters reunite, it's kind of it really typifies how Elsa in these movies is the typical Disney princess. She holds herself and is held to like the perfect standard. She's perfect and poised.
It was
And
graceful, and Anna's a
And
human
Anna
being.
is a human being who's like crying with snot when they're reunited. I just think they make a really good dichotomy.
It's realistic, and like they have like a kind of a callback to like when she wakes up with her hair messy in the first movie. When she goes to
Mhm.
bed as a kid in this one, she's just like, oh,
Yeah, and Elsa's like perfectly sleeping.
yeah, like yeah. One of them is a magical fairy princess, and the other one is just Anna, born
Mhm.
powerless. The
Powerless.
face she makes. I mean, all of the fans were like, "It's the sequel. Anna's gonna get fire powers."
No.
Oh yeah, I think I
think-
heard that one.
I think that would have been so dumb.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think
There'd be a lot more comments from me if that happened.
I think a villain with fire powers would be cool.
Mhm.
but we'll talk. I guess like end of the movie thoughts. I think that if they make a third one, which I think it would be fun if they made a third one, if they do,
Mhm.
like I think the third one's got to have like a villain in it, because the first and second don't really have villains. The first one is more of an interpersonal story, and Hans is like there as a bad guy, but he's not the real crux of the plot. And the second
Mhm.
one has all this esoteric stuff going on with spirits and things, and there's no
They're
real bad guy.
problem-solving movies.
I think we need just like a magic villain person.
And then maybe she'll do all her powers real big style like you want, Cameron.
Yeah, I'll do all our
Or
powers.
And
she
things
might
will be
have
hard for
consequences
her.
maybe.
I
Yeah,
think
that'd be
having
nice.
her, I mean, like if she fought the giants, I think that would have been drawn out and dumb. Like, shoot
hmm
ice at them.
It would have been like a Legend of Zelda boss, like
Oh, yeah.
freezing joints and stuff and knocking them off.
They'll like climb up them, and
That
like,
would have been so
Mhm.
hit
dumb.
their weak spot.
I
Hit him in
just,
the back of the head.
I just
Yeah.
want the rush that I got during that one episode of Once Upon a Time where Kristoff
Mhm.
uses a pickaxe at someone's kneecap.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
That I will
There's-
say that is the only good arc in Once Upon a Time. The Frozen arc is genuinely fantastic.
It does some weird stuff with the lore where Aduna
It
has
does.
2 sisters, and one of the sisters has ice powers and kills the other sister and all that. But
Kills
there's
the
there's a fight scene in the
parents.
palace where Kristoff goes ham on a bunch of guys with a pickaxe, and it's
That's
awesome.
pretty great.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just like, well, bam.
Which would be a terrifying weapon to come across.
I need to stop. I need
Anyways.
to stop putting him on my
Okay.
Zoom background. I need to
Um,
cover him up. Final thoughts. Moment of the movie.
I want to talk about my final thoughts before I talk about
Talk
the
about your
moment.
final. come
Sure,
on,
everyone wants to
Yeah.
hear your thoughts.
Talk about your
Yeah, I
final
know,
thoughts, Cameron.
right?
Debbie Downer over here.
Just final thought here. This movie is a total cash grab. I took notes towards the end of all of the callback to the first one, which I hate when movies do that because it's like, just be original for once in your life. And it's like she gets a new dress when she goes to the ice palace, and then she changes her hair, which happens exactly, when she does the whole like, let it go, and then she like changes her hair,
I
and then
do
she
think the
gets a new dress
callback
with
to
ice powers.
I
and
do
then
think the callbacks to making fun of Let It Go were dumb. Like when Olaf makes fun of her walk she does during that song, and then when she sees
Yeah.
herself in the
I
in
mean-
the snow memory, and she's like, "Ooh," I'm like,
I don't know why she would be embarrassed of that.
"Yeah,
but
why was that? That was never a meme, I think."
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey,
but
Cameron, you were interrupted.
there's more. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go into all of them, but yeah, there's like that, and then there's like a point where she just goes, "Do you want to build a snowman?" And I was like, "This is the lowest point of this movie. Why? Why?
It's a
Why
little-
do you
it's a
have to do
little-
When
this?
does that
Why?
happen? I don't remember.
When
I
they
can't
rebuild
remember-
Olaf at the end.
Yeah, that's what it
Oh
was.
right,
Oh,
yeah.
crap. Just
I think Olaf should have just been revived naturally. I mean,
and then of course,
She can't just make, hey, ooh, what if? Here's a conspiracy theory. She just made Olaf in the first movie. What if Olaf did die and she just made another one and gave it the same memories as Olaf, but it's not actually the same person?
Well, if it has the same memories and personality, is it not Olaf?
No.
Are we our personality or are we our flesh prisons?
I mean, Olaf isn't a person anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Getting real esoteric here.
I mean, Olaf does border on like Cathris territory several times in this movie, and if that's a reference you don't get, look it up.
on a more positive note, I guess
Yes.
I gotta say that water horse. The animator inside of me died when I
Oh,
saw that
Mhm.
horse.
When it like
So
lets its hair
good.
down.
Oh my gosh,
And the
yeah, the
mane.
hair and like how the body, the flow of the water of the body flows different from the hair, that flows different from the water that it was in and walks on, and it all still looks like water and it all still looks really good. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
The fact that you can have
Love
a
that horse.
horse made out of water underwater and you can tell the horse from the rest of the water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not sure if I fully understand it, but it
Gosh,
works. And they did a good job.
It's so good.
It's very impressive.
Props to those animators. They did so well on that.
Any other final thoughts, or do we want to move on to moment of the movie?
I didn't get to say my final thoughts.
Okay, that's why I was asking. Go on.
Okay. Well, usually we say our final thoughts and moment of the movie. You're splitting it up into a different way, though.
Well,
I'm
I thought we
confused.
always split it up.
Yeah, we always
Okay.
split it up.
Sorry, I've only been on a few of these. My bad.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Moment of the
Sorry,
movie.
my complaining like emptied my brain.
That's fine.
It's like
Oh,
it
okay.
just recycled all of it. It's an amazing movie, and I have a lot of thoughts that I didn't get to talk about. So
Can I talk about some of them?
It gives the good feels when I watch it.
no, that's fine.
Okay.
She rides into the sunset at the end. It's very nice. She's finally herself. She finally lets it go.
That's one thing I did. One of the reviews I did see is that it feels like Frozen 1 and 2 are just one big 4-hour-long movie. Because Elsa has like an arc that goes over both of them. Because like her arc is like it's done with 2. Like that's the end of her arc.
She finally lets her hair down.
Yeah, I don't know where it goes from there. If there needs to be a third, I don't know if they will. It ultimately
There doesn't, but if they could do
ultimately
one this
depends on what
good,
Jennifer Lee wants to do because she
mm-hmm.
has very much control over what happens in these movies.
She helped write it?
She's-
Yeah, oh, she directed it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but did
Jennifer
she
Lee
help
and
write
Chris
it?
Buck.
But I think
Yeah,
Jennifer
yes,
Lee and
yeah,
Chris
she's-
Buck wrote it. Yeah,
she's,
together. She
there's
did more of the writing.
She's the first name listed under writers and under directors.
I think she
but
did the
there's a bunch
first
of writers.
script, maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and all writing decisions had to be approved by her
Yeah.
Right.
and Chris, but whatever, mostly her. I'm gonna give her more credit than Chris because
That's how directors
That's
work.
that's the dynamic it seemed in the
Who
behind the scenes
in the
stuff.
behind the scenes it seemed like she had a lot of
He seems like he's
it.
more of a producer,
Yeah.
but
aside from the producer.
There's
I
also a
have
producer.
Producer and wow, I don't credit producers in these. I probably maybe I should.
Maybe.
They're just money, though.
Yeah.
Big bag of money.
The only producer I know
Yeah.
who has a lot of involvement is Jerry Bruckheimer because he
Hi, bud.
liked being on set during Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh.
It's
True.
like, I think we should do this. And Gore Verbinski's like, sure.
It's like, gosh dang it, go away.
Okay, now, moment of the movie. Whoever has theirs first can speak up. I don't have one yet.
Yeah, I have mine.
Okay, go for it.
All right. My moment of the movie is the credits. And it's not for the reason you think. It's not just because the movie ended.
They are
Uh,
pretty.
The Panic at the Disco
It's-
cover of Into the Unknown.
Yes, is exactly what it is. It was
It's good.
twice as good as the one that Elsa did. Ooh, that was weird.
It makes like a blood splotch on the screen. Don't do that ever again.
That's when I cover my webcam, but the green screen background stays. It's just do that.
Don't use your thumb. Don't use your thumb. It makes a gross thing. Like do like.
Yeah.
I've done that several times. I don't know. Oh, I can do this.
There you go.
Anyways,
Anyways, yeah, that was my favorite moment was because they did a better song.
how dare
Um,
you disrespect
good-
Idina Menzel like this?
Idina's good.
How dare
But
you?
the Panic at the Disco song is really good as well.
It is.
My moment.
I have a moment.
Yes.
I'm gonna steal one in case you take it, and it is the duet between Elsa and her mother in Atahalan.
I keep forgetting. I want to do that. The moment she comes in with the lullaby and you realize who it is
Mhm.
gosh, it's such a good moment. If I can't take that moment, then I guess
Sniped
I'll
ya.
take Olaf beckoning towards the spooky tunnel because I really like the energy that has. He knows what kind of movie he's in.
He's
Again,
kind
that
of-
is, as I said, I wouldn't bring
goofy.
it up again, but it's a little D&D energy where it's like there's no way out,
chaotic.
but there's a spooky way in. Yeah, he's a snowman person, so of course that's the type of energy he's going to be bringing.
It's not quite nihilistic, but it's very chaotic.
Yeah, like he knows he's well, he kind of knows what movie he's going to be in. Like he says some meta lines like, "I heard that an enchanted forest is a place of transformation." It's like, Olaf, not the time. Anyway, moving on to film information and statistics. This is written by Jennifer Lee, Chris Buck, Mark Smith, Kristen Anderson Lopez, Robert Lopez, Allison Schroeder, and inspired vaguely by Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen.
Are
They
you
have to
kidding me?
Bill,
5
yeah.
writers? Is that what it was?
Yeah, animated movies.
Well, two of them are the Lopez
Songwriters
husband and wife, the songwriters, who are amazing, by the
who
way.
do
Okay,
get credits.
just
Yeah,
the songwriters. Okay.
they
They are
are.
incredible.
They're like the Sherman brothers,
Gershwins.
except they get along with each other.
Wow, my reference
Sherman,
dated your reference.
whatever.
I said Gershwin because they're a couple. Never mind.
Well, Disney, Sherman Brothers. Anyway, it was directed by Jennifer Lee and Chris Buck. It was released November 22nd, 2019. Runtime, 1 hour, 43 minutes. Short and sweet. IMDb score of 6.9 out of 10. They really don't like giving things above a
They're
7.
wrong.
That's weird. This is a musical, but
Yeah, I
It's
feel like
a
it should have
Disney
done...
animated musical.
Yeah,
It is 'cause it's
IMDb,
a sequel.
IMDb scoring is weird.
what's Frozen 1?
It's
I
their
don't want to
opinion.
know. I don't care.
Okay.
Rotten
Look it up.
Tomatoes, 77% critics, 92% audience. Take that for what it's worth. Bechdel test, it obviously passes. Like,
Sorry, I was
does it
freaking out about
pass-
something else. It
passes
does
the
pass the Bechdel test.
Oh, yeah.
So I just saw something online.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
When young Agnar is talking to the young mother, and he's like, obviously they did some growing up together as children. He
Yes.
says he's reading a new Danish author.
Oh, is
If
that
it's
Hans
in the-
Christian Andersen?
It is.
Oh my gosh.
He wrote Snow Queen. It's a reference.
Well, the way he wrote Snow Queen was not the way it's written in this. And the way he
No.
wrote everything
She's
was
die in it.
creepy.
Well, yeah, they were
She's like 14 in
19th
it.
century
Hans Christian
nursery
Andersen
stories.
Hans liked writing about little girls. Well, I'm just gonna leave
Yeah,
it
he
at
did.
that. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
You remember
just thought
that
it was
movie where he was
interesting.
played by Danny Kaye?
Yeah, I do.
Also,
Oh, boy.
does anyone who listened to this know who Danny Kaye is? Anyway,
Just us.
just us. Now it's time to spin the wheel. This week's wheel was submitted by email by Granny, and it's the Mickey Mouse and Friends collection. Oh, wait,
Yay.
no, it's not time yet. First, it's time to rank the film.
Yeah, let's rank it.
I usually rank it before. Let me just quick put it down there. Frozen 2. Okay. Usually do that before we do statistics because I don't want us to be warped by the Rotten Tomato scores and stuff. But flub that up.
Well, we agree that they're wrong.
Yeah. Now I know Sarah wants to put it at number 1. I know Cameron probably doesn't.
Yep.
Do I want to put it at number? I'm the swing vote here.
Well, Cameron, what number? Let's
What number?
see what number.
Cameron? Yeah.
I want to put it at 5, just below Guardians of the
Guardians
Galaxy.
of the Galaxy, really?
Yeah.
As far as rewatchability goes, I would watch Frozen 2 again today. I wouldn't watch Guardians of the Galaxy. I probably wouldn't watch Muppets again. It's good, but not that good. Empire Strikes Back, Dead Man's Chest. I think I agree with number 1, actually.
Oh, voted.
I think I do, just based on like which movie would I rather rewatch. And Dead Man's Chest is good, but Dead Man's Chest is kind of long.
Cameron, you just need to watch it 8 more times, and then you'll agree with
And
me.
yes, I'm sorry, Star Wars fans. I am also saying it's better than Empire Strikes Back. I don't care.
Empire Strikes Back is not the best Star Wars movie. There, I said it.
I don't know which one. Oh no, Rogue One. Rogue One's the best for me.
Mhm.
And
That's fair.
It's kind of biased because we're siblings, but that's just the way it goes.
Hey, it's you get to have a swing vote in your favor because it's your last episode. And also since it's your last episode, you can go ahead and spin the wheel again. Granny submitted it. That's the Mickey Mouse and Friends wheel.
Okay, hold on. I need some help with this one.
Ready, bud?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, Bayek is gonna spin the wheel.
Bayek of Siwa, Magi, protector of Egypt.
Spin
Here
the
he
wheel.
goes.
Whoa! Yeet! Meow, yeet.
There you go, bud.
So it is.
Cat, you're in the way. Pluto, lend a paw from 1941.
Sounds like a short.
It does.
Let me look it up.
From the
Yeah, look it up.
war years.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Add it to my watch list real quick. Pluto,
That's a
Land of
nice
Pooh.
key.
Oh my gosh, this episode is gonna need some. Wait, oh no, we had like 15 minutes at the beginning before we started.
Yeah.
That's fine because I was like, oh my
Someone
gosh,
was late.
It's 6:30. We've been going for 2.5 hours. No, we're not even at the 2-hour mark yet.
Good.
I
I really tried
Did
to
they
write
add
that in
another
today.
fantastic? They added the other Fantastic Four movie. That's besides the point.
The
new
one
one
with
or the old
Jessica
one?
Alba?
The old one, yeah, the one with
Jessica
that's-
Alba and Chris Evans before he was Captain America.
Ooh, that one's a good one.
Pluto.
Well,
Lend a
Fantastic movie.
The bar is pretty low.
Yeah.
Kitty.
Okay, we got Pluto Lend a Paw. It only shows up under Lend a Paw, not Pluto Lend a Paw. Okay.
So is it called Pluto Lend a Paw or just Lend
It's
a
just
Paw?
called Lend a Paw, but it's part of the Pluto series of shorts. 8 minutes long. Okay, so we're looking for another shorter episode. I'm okay with that. I need a shorter episode because these take so
Yeah.
long to edit and upload.
We knew this would be a long one, especially with me on it.
Yeah, this is what I wanted when I did Mickey and Friends as the next wheel was
Yeah.
something short. Someone just please submit a Tron wheel because I want to talk about anything Tron.
Yes. Oh my gosh, please.
Original Legacy Uprising.
Tron.
I've been watching Uprising. It's really good.
I haven't seen that.
You should. It's good. But speaking of, it is. Yeah, we're gonna watch Lend a Paw next time.
Fun.
Have at it, everybody. Time to select the next wheel to spin. I'll go ahead and share my screen for that. Mickey Mouse and Friends is already gone. Okay. So new wheels that were added. I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but Boris submitted throwbacks. Dallin submitted Hugh Jackman wheel. Luke submitted a Kenny Ortega wheel, which is going to be a nightmare. And Liza submitted a wheel that was my personal watch list, which thank you. I get to basically choose what's on the wheel if we get that one. But we've still got a lot of the upper ones that we haven't gotten through yet.
I mean, Marvel would be a timely one to do.
Do we want to do Marvel?
I mean, the likelihood of getting
There's a lot. There's a
there's
lot.
a lot
that's
to
Marvel.
choose from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Darth Vader collection could get us Rogue One. I don't know if we want to do Star Wars. What are your thoughts, Cameron?
I really want to do the Hugh Jackman one. We should save it though.
I looked at the Hugh Jackman one. It has Greatest Showman, which I don't want to watch again. It's got X-Men and X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh, really?
Three
Oh,
movies?
That's it. Yeah, 3 movies.
Okay.
I mean, I do have a lot of fresh hot takes on Greatest Showman if you want to do Hugh Jackman. I don't know if we want to, though. Let's do...
I mean, if you can't choose, maybe roll for it.
Oh, you want to do random? Okay, let's do.
I
a
mean,
random
there's
wheel.
almost 20. You could do it. You could do a D20.
I'm not gonna do a D20. I'm gonna just
Do a random thing picker.
No, I don't use random thing picker. I use physical wheels. We
Oh
all
my
know
gosh,
this.
my cat's behind me.
Okay, I'm gonna pick a random one. Mini Yeet. Kenny Ortega.
Yes.
Gosh, dang it. All right. Well,
Sometimes you get what you deserve.
Okay, so next
Thank you, Luke.
next time we will be
Yeah, thanks,
watching
Luke.
Lenda Paw. Thanks, Luke. Next time we will be watching Lenda Paw, and we will be spinning the Kenny Ortega wheel. For those of you at home who don't know, Kenny Ortega is the one responsible for all of the Disney Channel original movie musicals, most of them at least, like Descendants and High School Musical. And I don't know if he's the songwriter or the director or what, but all I know is that he is at fault.
Yes.
He's
I don't
the
know
one.
if he's a songwriter. I think he might be.
And don't we also have a wheel that's the High School Musical collection? We do.
We
Yeah,
do.
and Disney Channel original movies.
Oh my gosh, we still have that one?
Yeah.
And we have a sitcom one too.
Yeah, we
Just
do.
basically just more Disney
I've been,
Channel.
so apologies to make mine amalgam on Twitter. I've been meaning to do another one of your wheels that you submitted, but I don't want to watch another 90s movie, and I've been having trouble putting together a sitcom wheel because it's not a search term that Disney Plus really likes, but I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out for it when we get to it. Yeah, Kenny Ortega.
Grilling.
Yeah, I
So great.
remember Luke, friend of the show, kind of. He actually
one of my
he submitted this wheel over a Discord call, and had to explain to me who Kenny Ortega was. And
Huge fan of the Descendants, so I really hope that's what you guys get.
hey, that'll get.
Apparently, a grown adult can watch it and enjoy it, so that's enough of a reference for me to be like, you got this, guys.
They were making references to it on the Dragon Talk podcast about some people legitimately liked it. Why? Anyway,
I don't know.
thank you all so much for listening. This is the ASMR portion of the show. If you like the show, please review us on iTunes or whatever podcast service you used to listen to, and share it with your friends. You can send your reviews or comments to WhereStreamsComeTrue@gmail.com, at Studio76 WSCT on Twitter. We're not on Facebook, the devil's platform. Not really. We're not on Instagram. Studio76 is on Instagram. You can bug them there. We're also on YouTube at Studio76's YouTube page. And WhereStreamsComeTrue@gmail.com. I think I said that before. I said it again. You can submit a wheel to a category or search term on Disney Plus. If you send in your review, we will read it on the show, or you can submit a recording to anchor.fm/WhereStreamsComeTrue if you've got a good mic. If you don't, no guarantee we're going to use it. And let me tell you, I've grown to appreciate good mics after proctoring online testing, where it sounds like a portal to 8-bit hell is being opened up in every person's living room.
Oh boy.
Keep that in mind.
Is this my first podcast with my new mic, or did I think
one.
I did Pirates.
You
I
did
did Pirates with
it,
my new mic.
Also, yeah,
That's
Pirates is our shot up to our most listened episode, which
Yay.
previously our first episode had the title of.
Well, actually, your friend the Rat had a lot of views too.
Your friend the Rat had a lot of views for some reason, but Pirates just like
It's that Ratatouille fandom.
overnight just went like boom, which might
Wow.
be an influx of viewers from the My Disney Brain podcast. If that is the case, welcome.
Hello.
I hope you like it here. And again,
Pull
shout
up a
out to My Disney Brain. It's a
couch.
great podcast, and they're still putting out episodes. And unlike us, they do different topics every week, and they have guests on, which is like
I'm kind of a guest.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, but they get like travel agents and stuff, like important people. I just
Hey,
get whoever's at Weber.
That's
And
yeah.
sometimes Andrea. Gotta get her back on. Anyway, that's all
Oh,
for
yeah.
today.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
For the Kenny Ortega one.
Bye.
Bye.